Cynthia and Ariana sing, not you.
This is Killing Movie Theaters. Hey Internet, I'm Chris, and this is the place on the internet where I talk about comics, movies, games, and things I'm generally passionate about. So Wicked came out over the weekend. It was one of the biggest movies of the year, a huge hit for Universal, an all-time great in terms of box office, musicals, Broadway adaptations. People generally had a really good time with it. But something sort of came up when the movie came out and has been shared over social media, and I think it's something of a speck of a larger problem, and one of the things that's really killing the theater experience, the movie going experience, and why people just hate going to the movie theaters. Throughout Twitter, TikTok, people have been sharing either sing-alongs, moments. There was someone on Twitter who shared a photo of the screen, and it's like, hey, share your photos of Wicked. Actually, don't. This is a problem. So, when I go to the movie theaters, it's one of the few times I could go someplace without distraction. I'm not on my phone. I'm in a dark room. It actually makes a lot of movies better just because I'm free of distractions. And sadly, I spend way too much time on my phone. But hey, this is the one place I can go where I could just be focused on the thing in front of me, not be a dad, have life going on around me. Like I could bring my kid. We could all have a good time. And that's what I think a lot of people like to do when they go to the movies. But I think in today's society, people are incredibly selfish when it comes to these experiences. They feel that they buy their ticket, and it's an excuse to ruin it for everyone else, whether it be taking out their phone, being incredibly loud, singing along when the ticket you bought wasn't a sing-along. They have experiences for that. So it's just, again, I think when we talk about sort of the death of movie theaters, they've had a lot of struggles and people point to streaming, this or that, but really it's the people. It's really bad because like you go to a movie and it's just, I can even remember even years ago going to see Infinity War for the first time and just a group of kids in front of me. And I was still really young at this time. How long ago was that? That was like 6-7 years. So I was still in, my early 20s. And there's just a group of like one kid in this group that is being like super annoying. Like, and I'm not the type to really like confront people, but like, I was like, dude, I've waited 10 years for this. Like I had to say something. And his friends kind of backed me up on it. But it's just like, it's such a problem these days, and I get it. I'm a content creator, so I record a lot of things, but I even struggle like doing that because you just take away from enjoying things in the moment. And it's just like people have no semblance of like, hey, what are other people's experiences are, being considerate of other people. And it's just problematic in terms of like why people hate going to the movie theaters. Like me, if I'm going to the movies, I'm taking my family. So that's 3 people, concessions, all that. That's over like $100 in New York City. And I'm not going to do it if it's going to be a terrible experience and people are going to be talking, singing along and all this. It's bad for the theaters. It's bad for the experience. And it's why people have gone to streaming. It's not that, the content on streaming is so much better. It's just people like are tired of it. They're done. They just look at a movie. They're like, hey, like, why do I have to spend all this money and I have to be around like inconsiderate people? Why can't I just wait for it to be home? I could just, hey, if the people around me suck, hey, it's my own fault. At least I didn't pay $100 to do that. Like, that's the place where we're at. I think that's what's really made people shift to streaming, because if you've seen over the past couple of years, there have been some all-time great box office hits. So if you give people a reason to go to the theaters, they will deal with the audience and what's been going on as of late, where people feel that they have to record everything, record the post-credit scene, act a fool in the theater. They'll deal with it if it's worth it. But it's killed the movie industry just because, again, people are inconsiderate, and it's just the time we live in. We just don't consider other people's experience, and it's just sad. I do think it's great that Wicked was a success. It's something that theaters needed, that the movie industry needed. But sort of the things that are coming out of it have started a really good discussion around theater etiquette and what's happened to the theater experience and why movies have become this thing where you're just like, yeah, I'll just wait for streaming because, to be honest, I don't want to go to the theater. I used to love going to the theater. It used to be my favorite thing in the world. Now I go like once every couple months. Now, that's part of that is being a parent and, and not being able to see things. Like I just recently saw Alien Romulus on Hulu, and that was fantastic. I regret not being able to see it in theaters, but I can't take my 5-year-old to see, chest bursters and all that kind of stuff, which is kind of sad. But that's kind of like my reason. But also, I'm not really motivated to, because guess what? Like, I'm going to go, even if I went by myself, and I'm just going to be annoyed and unfocused because I'm going to be looking at people on their phone talking. Not like it destroys the experience. And what people talk about, like, hey, this communal experience, you're really enjoying it amongst people. No, for the most part, people are annoying. I think sometimes you have a really good one. I think the last great experience I had in theaters was Dune 2. I saw that in IMAX, which was fantastic. But part of the reason it was great is because I went really early. I went like 11 o'clock in the morning. It's just, we just have to be more considerate of other people's experience. And I think we just have to be less selfish when we do these things. Like, hey, like, we're all here to enjoy this, to get a distraction from the world outside. This is a room where we could get away from our phones, not worry about content and what's going to happen afterwards. Let's just all enjoy this. And I think until we sort of get to that place as a society, theaters will continue to degrade, and we'll get to the point where, hey, we're all going to be watching things on streaming and there won't be a Wicked in theaters to sing along to. But what do you think? Do you have a really good time at the theaters despite some of the things that have been happening? Did you see Wicked? Did you love it? I know a lot of my friends love the movie, and it's great to see the response to it. I haven't seen the musical. I kind of want to take my family to see the movie, but we'll see. But yeah, let me know. Like, comment, subscribe, and peace.
All right, just get the hell out of here. I got a goddamn campaign.